Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome. And everybody is welcome. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. ربي أني مسني الضر وأنت أرحم الراحمين. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. نعم المولى ونعم النصير. غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. والحمد لله رب العالمين. Now we are going to study, inshallah, the Duha, chapter Duha, and verse 4. We have established, inshallah, so far, the foundations of how we should approach this verse, this chapter, and how we will understand it. Then, inshallah, it won't be very difficult for you to understand the verses which we are going to study, because the foundations are, inshallah, established so far. In principle, we know that, we all know that we study the verses of the Quran in order to apply it to ourselves, not for an intellectual exercise, or not to gather information, and especially not for the sake of ritualistic prayers and this kind of religious activities as they are known in this society, but make it to this information that we learn from the Quran, or this guidance we learn from the Quran, to apply it in our practical life. How are we going to practice belief? That is a very difficult question. If I said, or if someone says, how are we going to practice religion? What would your answer be? Oh, you have to learn how to pray, how to fast, etc. Or, as a joke, I'm going to say, which kind of meat is halal? So that's correct. But we don't study that. We concentrate on how are you going to live according to the belief in revelation, according to the belief in the existence of angels, according to belief in the reality, if you are satisfied with its reality, the reality of eternal life. Well, how are we going to do it? Of course, commonly known that how are we going to prepare ourselves for the eternal life? They will say, okay, you have to do your worshipful activities or your religious duties, you have to perform them. But it is not very common among the believers' society that we have to prepare ourselves for an eternal life in terms of our belief system, that we are satisfied or assimilated into our human feelings here. Of course, the practical side is not denied at all or ignored, but this is not our subject, because practical side, it means ritualistic activities, religious activities in general. They call it religious duties in general. Also, it's a big word, but it is not really justified how it is understood among the people of believers. They are believers. But how am I going to prepare myself for the eternal life as far as my understanding, my comprehension of my being, my existence, the purpose in my life, and my relationship with my Creator? How am I going to establish this relationship with my Creator apart from fasting during Ramadan? And even what is the meaning of fasting, really. So the verse 4. وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى. This is the short verse, and it is translated as, in the future will be better for you than the past. Well, no, it doesn't say will be. Why did I mean, I just copy-pasted. وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى. I'm correcting in my own computer. The future is better for you than the past. Not will be. There is no will be in the text. If you know a little bit Arabic, you will know that. Who knows a little bit Arabic? وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ. Not سَيَكُونُ خَيْرٌ. So, or the following verses will say, yes, in the future. But we'll study that why it is different in this way. So let's correct the translation, but I cannot do that. But I can do only on my computer. And the future is better for you than the past. Let's summarize what we understand from future, what we understand from past in our practical life. What is past? What is future? Akhirah, in fact, which is translated here as future, but Akhirah is not really, doesn't mean future. Akhirah means the end of, end result. Oh, you are native speaker of Arabic, aren't you? Or the Moroccan Arabic. So it's not Arabic, halfway Arabic. Okay. Akhirah is the end of something, end result of anything. So we can say the end result of my life, end result of my existence, end result of my understanding, end result of approaching towards any action that I have to choose. I have to make decision as far as the freedom that I'm given while I'm using. The end result will be better for me than what is in the past. Okay. What do you understand? Anyone else? This gentleman is here ready to say something. I appreciate it, but I give priority to those people who don't speak very often or don't speak.
Was that word correct, though, the afterlife or no?
Akhirah?
Yes.
Akhirah, the end of something. The akhir of something.
So is it the afterlife is better for you than?
I don't know. Afterlife will be, if there is such a thing. I'm being a little bit sarcastic language. If there is such a thing, it will be included by the akhir of my day, akhir of my relationship with somebody, akhir of my action towards the world. Something happens, I think about it, and what is the result? End result of anything, akhirah. So yes, there is no one else challenging. So
no, I had a question, so I can wait.
Oh, I thought you were going to give when you are being hard. Yeah.
So, I'm going to bring a little bit of my preconceived notion here. If we're trying to understand future as in the end result of something, and so far my understanding of time or anything for that matter, the something that we're using here does not necessarily have an end. So how do you have an end result of something when
what do you mean by doesn't necessarily have an end? What do you mean by it? For example, today the sunset marks the end of the day. For example. So you start writing an email, and when the email finishes, this is the end of writing.
Sure, but it might not be the end of communication.
But you start communicating with other one. It is another start. It's a start and it has an end. So we can minimize it. It will make the case very difficult. to grasp. So let's talk about the end of life in this world, and end of the day, end of your conversation with somebody. Make it more practical.
Wow, I just don't like. For example, like what you're saying is it perfectly makes sense for the transient nature of the universe as I experience it. Theoretically, if my understanding is that, let's say, time is a human construct.
Why the time is on him? But it depends. It is relative to your perception, but time is not human construct. Time is the necessity of the existence of this universe, because as the existence, as the act of creation, it means bringing into creation continues, we perceive it as time.
Do you really,
yeah.
Are you trying to say because their souls are eternal?
No, I'm not
let's
trying to
listen
jump to
to
that
him.
point. I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, as I'm experiencing my reality in the now, and I guess that's probably the reason why the future will not be, but is better for me now. What I'm trying to understand is there a future to anything at all, or am I always existing in this state of now, where yes, there is a past, something that I've experienced, but even the future, what I have not yet experienced, will never be experienced in form of a future, will always be experienced in form of a now. I don't.
But the future is not our subject. The end of something. It means that we will do something. It will pass. It will be created, and we will find ourselves at the end of this action.
So can we say outcome instead of end? Because for me,
The
end,
outcome,
maybe I'm taking it too literally.
but the outcome is supposed to be good, better. I mean, khairun, khairun means better. So without min, it will be good itself. But khairun, khairun leke min al-ula. So outcome of, all right. First of all, let me ask this question. To whom the Quran speaks? It means God speaks to whom? To human beings. What? If I speak to you about a subject which is not your concern, does it make sense to you? I'm pleased to see. Yeah.
Just elaborate on it a little.
Did you have the answer? If I speak here, somebody comes here and speaks to you about which you are not interested at all. What do you do?
Something doesn't pertain to you.
No, you are not interested. It may be pertain to you, but you are not aware of it. For example, let's say somebody is talking, because I am dealing with the subject for myself. So somebody is talking about a certain illness. You are not aware that you have this illness, but he is talking how to cure it. Will you pay any attention to it?
I'm not aware of the illness to begin with.
Yeah. He is that person is going to speak. Yeah.
As I understand, the end that you refer to is the conclusion of someone. In this case, the book is talking directly to me, and it is trying to say that your conclusion is going to be better than the process which you have been considering in the previous verses.
Yeah, it's a little bit as the second or third stage. Now, let's establish this one. If you are not aware, let's talk about me. I am not aware that I have this certain illness, and a professional person comes here and tells me what is the cure of it. Will I pay attention to it?
I have questions to listen to that.
Yeah, but so Quran speaks to human beings if they are aware of their problems and questions. If they are not speaking of God to human beings, to a person who is not concerned with the content of the speech, he will understand nothing at all. So that is one step, right? Agreed? No? Yes or no?
That's the first step.
Yeah, first. So, in order for a person, the outcome of an event will be better as the Quran promises. This person will be concerned with the outcome of his action, whatever it is. For example, let's go, I'm hungry and I'm going to have a dinner. I'm going to have my dinner today. So if I am not concerned with the event that I'm going to have dinner, why am I in need of dinner? Why do I get hungry? What is the point in being in need of dinner? And why am I in this position that I am in need of, and the need is provided, and I am put in this process? If I don't have this question, what do you think Quran will say to me? Do you think the Quran will say, وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى? It means, I'm sorry, I forgot that. And the future is better for you than the past. For example, you attended a lecture which is about the cure of a certain illness, and that you have it. You have it. You have this trend. But you don't know this trend, this illness that you have it. So the person explains at the end of the class, do you think the end outcome of this class will be better for you than before?
Yes.
Only if you're aware.
Sorry?
Only if you're aware.
Yeah. The outcome of this class will the outcome of this class better for you than before you start? Before the beginning, or not from the beginning, better than the beginning of the class for you.
Yes.
But you are not aware. You are not aware of your illness. So somebody is telling me what is going on in my blood, and I don't know that I have this disease. And how do I cure it? I attend this lecture. I don't attend this lecture. No. I am in the class, happen to be in the class, because we are all in the class of the universe, School of Universe. Yeah. So, but if I don't have the problem, if I am not aware what I need, and the answer is told to the question that I am not aware of, do you think the result of this lecture will be better for me than the beginning?
No.
Cannot be worse.
But if you're not aware, then you're not probably thinking it's happening.
So
Yeah, but
the Quran speaks to whom? Sorry, you want to say something as well?
No, I said it cannot be worse. Like, let's say, let's take the negative approach. Even if you're not aware that you have that illness, you attend this class and learn about something, even if you're not listening.
Do you learn? Do you pay attention to it? Is it not? It is not concerned. You happen to be in the class. You didn't come to the class on your own will. Did you come to the School of the Universe on your own will? Or you happen to be here, you are created in here without your choice. So you happen to be in the class. For example, a person is the janitor. So he's cleaning the room. The professor is telling about a very important subject. And he says, well, it's not for me. My job is to clean the room. Do you think he will benefit from it? So the end, the outcome, maybe it's better to say expression, outcome of the class will not be better for him than the beginning. it will be just irrelevant. So when the Quran speaks, Quran says the future is better for you than the past. This is valid only for those people who are looking for an answer. So we say in practice, in general, in our classes, that Quran speaks to those who have questions, who have concerns. If somebody doesn't have questions, speech or God's speech will have nothing to do with him. Because God speaks in order to answer the real fundamental questions, human questions, because he speaks to humanity. Quran doesn't speak to believers, Quran doesn't speak to Muslims, Quran speaks to human beings who have the question, he provides the answer. Right? So if you listen to the Quran, being aware of your questions, you can get the answer from the Quran. If you don't bring if you are not aware of your questions, you won't benefit from the Quran. What happens generally? These people, if they are born in a Christian community, in general, they read the Bible and hear what the Bible says and this is very important, try to understand what their religion tells in the content of information, intellectual understanding of the religion itself, of the knowledge of religion, of Christianity. But this person will not ask the question, why do I exist? For example, read the whole Bible, Gospel. Ask the question, why do I exist? Excuse me, you will find no answer. Why? It doesn't give the answer, but as it is. So if you read the Torah, Pentateuch, and the Psalms, you can get some answer. But in the New Testament, you can't, because it's not related to it. But not only that you can get some answer from the Quran, it is necessary for a person to get the answer from the Quran, he has to have the question. If you don't have the question, you don't. So if you have the question, definitely the Quran guides you, the speech of God guides you. Definitely means if you really test it, you will get it. And then this verse makes sense to you. What is it? At the end of any action, which is in any creation, any event, which exists in this world, this creation brings you news about the source of your existence. So you can benefit from it. And you have the guidance as well, because in this world, not only the physical entities exist, but at the same time, prophets exist, messages that the prophets bring exist. Do you understand? If you have this perspective in your life, and this is your world view, if it is your world view, what you do, you benefit from the Quran by using the transient existence, which are only the signs to the creation, to the creator, or the qualities of the creation, qualities of the creator. So anytime you encounter in the creation, what are you expected to get? In an act of creation, you see a person, for example. What are you expected to get from it? In its existence, in its createdness, you will find the signs of the Creator. You look at the person, and if you realize it, the outcome of this looking at the person is better, because his existence in this world is transient, but the meaning his existence transfers it to me points to the eternal source. You understand why is it better? Is it clear now for everyone? Why it is better? Always the future is better for a person who takes notice of his existence and questions it. If we made an mantra. We said the mantra is better. Yeah. No question, no answer. If you don't have the question, Quran doesn't exist for you, even if you memorize it. It doesn't speak to you, because you don't get answer to your what the Quran provides you. Quran provides answers to existential questions. That's the main purpose of the Quran, the speech of God. The rest we can learn. Can I tell you now? For example, do you need to be told, everyone, not only speaking, because you are in the front row, so do you need anyone who he will tell you that you shouldn't tell a lie? Or in your own construction of humanity, do you know that telling a lie is not really correct? You don't need anyone to tell you. You don't need anyone to steal, not to steal, sorry. You know that stealing is not really appropriate for any human being. For a human being. Stealing is not. But you can interpret this is not a stealing, or that is a different matter. But the abstract notion of stealing is not, I know that not, I don't steal not because it is haram. Even, look, I can ask every one of you here, even in the Quran, stealing is not prohibited. Understood? You have no word in the Quran, no sentence, nothing referring to stealing, and so that there is no prohibition in the Quran or in Islamic teaching that the stealing is prohibited. Yeah? I can answer this question. Who should I ask? Will you still steal? Will you steal? Because you were hesitant when I was giving this.
Later you said that they say that something is not stealing. Let's say there's like a corporate budget.
No, that is interpretation. The abstract notion of stealing, abstract notion of killing a living being. Will you kill a person? Let's say killing is not prohibited in the Quran, in Islam. Will you kill?
Probably at some points I would justify it. Like if the boundaries are not clearly defined, at some point, I think we may justify it.
No, but justification, if you have justification, yes. But for nothing, because the Quran says killing somebody for no reason, for no legitimate reason, is equal to killing everyone, all human beings. It means there should be no justification. Justification is being your personal interpretation. I'm talking about your human quality. Do you think in your existence as a human being, there is no sense that I should not kill unjustly on an illegitimate matter. Do you think or not? Because you were the hesitant one.
There is like no reason at all, and within this that boundary of definition, yes, I would not kill.
Yeah, but without receiving any command from religion. Now you understand that. That's what we should understand, that Quran or the God does not speak to human beings what is already in existence. No, prohibition of stealing or rejection of stealing, not agreeing with stealing, not agreeing with killing is already in existence. So we should not read the Quran to learn whether I should kill or not. It is very important because traditionally, Quran is read for the purpose that we just said that it is not relevant to the teaching of the Quran. It's a very big mistake. That's why Quran is not widely read as an answer to existential questions. It is read in tradition, historically, as an answer to one's religious questions. Religious questions are related to actions. Do you understand? It is extremely important to make this fundamental difference, to be aware of this fundamental difference is really essential for us. That why should I read the Quran? For what purpose? Why means what purpose? For what purpose I should read the Quran? First of all, I must have the questions. But the questions are not taught in the Quran. Right? Questions are innate. It means already existing in the nature of human beings. But we have to uncover it. We have to uncover it.
Yeah, like you have the experience and
so it is there. But what is unfortunate for the people, but unbelieving people, well, not very many people are unbelieving in the world. Anyway, they believe somehow something superior or superpower or something, the creator somehow. But those people who are not concerned with God at all, let alone them, forget about them. They are minority, very, very few minority. Most of the people are concerned with the creator and they believe in the creator. They are not taught, they are not reminded that they have to uncover their human questions in order to benefit from revelation, from scriptures, from God's speech, from the message that we receive through messengers. Unfortunately, it's not very common trend. That's what we are going to learn here in this class. In the common trend, whatever is in the common trend, we don't talk about it. Because everybody is talking about it. Why should we waste our breath? It's known. But what is not known is the essential one, essential aspect of religion. So the Quran says the future is better for you than the past. It means what is already created, you as a human being are expected to interact with what is created as far as we are concerned. Yeah, I'm using the past tense. You are expected to interact with the creation. Of course, if you question the reason of creation, why this thing happened, you will, the reason of creation, why did it happen? Why it was created? Why was it created? If you question this, you will definitely search for the answer, and revelation will help you to get the answer. The creation is transient, but they are transient in order to prepare or facilitate you to understand who their creator, to question who created it. Who created it? How come it existed? Can it exist by itself? You have to question. It is open. And if it cannot exist by itself, why does it exist? Do you follow the questions? Why does it exist? When you question this, you will definitely need for a guidance from the creator. Why did he make it? Why did he or did it, whatever it is? We are not talking with the pre-assumed concepts. Why did it made it happen? Because you have the ability, potentiality to ask the question. As soon as you ask the question, what is the purpose in the existence of this gentleman? As far as I am concerned, I'm saying, well, if something exists here, yeah, what is the purpose in its existence? When I start questioning, I will understand that there are signs demonstrating, pointing out to me the qualities of its maker, because it cannot make itself. So I can learn the qualities of its maker in its existence and in his existence. So when I learn the qualities of his creator, his maker, it is better for me. The past, after I learn, is the better. That is the outcome of the past. Outcome of the past is outcome of the past. No, the past is the existence, what we experience. Outcome of it, what we make out of it. Got it?
Would this apply to an event, not just a person?
Sorry?
Would this apply to an event, like the things that happen to us?
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Everything, not just a person or
No, exactly. No, everything.
like
You
even an
breathe
event.
air.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
breathe air. What is this air?
Or a misfortune or a blessing or
Oh,
something.
no, misfortune is according to us. There is no misfortune in existence. That's our concept. We have to talk about
it.
it.
As I said, no.
Yeah.
Because you can make a blessing out of it, like whatever happens.
So what is blessing? How do you make blessing? By understanding the qualities of its creator and knowing that this creator is your creator as well. So you can connect yourself to this creator, saying that he is my creator as well. He has such and such qualities. And the creator's qualities will be what? Because the creatures are transient. They cannot sustain their existence. But the act of creation is continuous. So the source must be not transient, which is permanent. Permanent means, is there anything permanent in this universe?
No.
Anything permanent in this universe?
Existence?
Sorry?
Existence?
No, existence is the act of creation. There is nothing, no entity in this universe that is permanent. It is always subject to change and transient. Everything. So the permanent source of existence, it means permanent creator, cannot be like anything in the universe. It means nothing to do with the universe. It means it must be something which doesn't need for its own existence. It means anything else. It means his existence is not dependent. It means he or it self-exist or must self-exist. So you understand that your existence belongs to a one who is self-existent, and all the qualities you observe in the act of creation is just the reflection of his eternal absolute qualities. That is paradise. You are secure in your life. That is why it's better. Isn't that better? Yeah. But we have to understand the past. We have to understand the future in the context of my relationship, my connection with the created world, and my benefiting from it by questioning its source, its existence, and therefore its source of existence. If I don't, the future is not better for me than the past. I mean, I'm just jumping to the Quranic language. The future will be hell. Is it better? Life on earth is better than being in hell. Do you understand? That is the main structure of the Quranic presentation of our responsibility. If you are aware of the qualities of the Creator, you will be rewarded after the graduation from this world with the permanent reflections, manifestations of these qualities. I've seen it. These qualities. It is paradise. If you deny, if you turn blind to it, if you just reject the qualities manifested in the creation and attribute the existence to its own self, the universe exists by itself, and the result will be hell. It means devoid of any eternity. That's self. That's why this world has a beginning and end, because eternity will be experienced in another form of creation. In another, because there is no eternity in this type of creation. You understand the difference. So you got it, that the future is better if you benefit from the past, and then better it is better for me than the past. Yes, sir.
Can I try to summarize what we've learned? So,
Of course, I would love it, because I'm messing up everything with my perfect language. So,
so you started by saying the Quran is written to speak to those who question the creation, where it came from, how it came to be.
In general, this is called existential questions.
Sure, and it's speaking to that individual. And so then this specific verse says that simply by questioning, by being in existence or questioning your existence, you are furthering your understanding of your Creator, and therefore you seek a more improved status, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
The questioning is the gain
You
in and of
become,
itself.
but the question is the source of the gain. So it means you are improving your existence as far as your understanding is concerned. It means bodily you will be the same, but your perception of your own existence will have a big vision, a large, infinite vision, because you will realize that you belong to the eternal. So can you imagine that, for example, you work, you don't work for a company, you have your own company. Who works for a company? You know, work? No one. You work for a company, yeah.
No one.
So if your company is really not very stable and ready to be bankrupt, what do you feel?
I've left them twice. Yeah,
Sorry?
I'd leave them.
Yeah, as soon as you have the opportunity to go to get another job. Yeah. So if you are sure that your company provides everything as a human being what you need.
I have no reason to leave.
Sorry?
I would have no reason to leave.
and you will be happy with your company. Yeah? So how about your existence? Yeah, for example, your existence belongs to a self-existing, self-subsiding one who is eternal and provides everything that you experience in this world eternally. How do you feel about your being in this world?
Secure.
Secure. If someone says, but you are going to die, what do you think?
Now, after this understanding, or before
No,
this
no, no.
understanding?
Yeah, after this understanding, you are no, not now as you are.
Okay.
No, theoretically speaking, you realize that you are secure, you feel secure in your existence, and but somebody comes and tells you that, but excuse me, you will die one day.
I would have a different definition of death than that person.
Yeah.
And for me, it would be no different than being alive today than I was any alive than yesterday.
Yeah.
It just,
And also, yesterday is dead, but it doesn't bother you anymore, does it?
Nope.
So after you die, well, none of my business. My existence belongs to
self-existing.
and a self-existing, eternal, it's existing one. So he will take care of me because my existence belongs to him, not to me.
So I think, I just want to clarify something because the gentleman was saying that if we question, but I think I understood more as if you know the question.
But it is with you, yeah? If
Yes,
you are
but I'm just saying
aware
that you were not questioning the point you made, which what I understood is if you know the question, which is that's the question right there.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of my existence?
For
That's the
example,
question.
The fundamental
Fundamental
very
question.
fundamental question. Why do I exist? Very simple question. And let me ask you this.
Yes.
Well, but I mean, not that ask you, not as a question, of course, a rhetoric one. How many people are aware of questioning their existence? Why do I exist? What do you think? Generally speaking,
Generally
don't pass judgment about persons and me and
Absolutely not, but I feel like not many.
not many,
Not many.
unfortunately. That's why the Quran doesn't speak to them. Although they may memorize the Quran, they may pray 5 times a day. Quran doesn't speak to them. They just follow a traditional religion. Are they deniers? No, but they are not benefiting from the message of the
They
Quran.
don't really know the reason. Or the
But it
purpose.
is there. We are here to discover what is in us. For example, the same person, let's say he may be a simple, how does that peasant, let's say peasant, simple peasant, doing some very simple farming.
Well, even the Quran is giving a perfect example. It says like a donkey carrying grapes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. It is a different context.
Okay.
Now, what did I say?
Peasant.
Yeah, there's a simple farmer. Do you think he doesn't know what benefits him, what harms him, as far as worldly affairs is concerned?
He might. I mean, it doesn't matter whether he's a peasant or an intellectual
But do you think,
person.
for example, if he does this, the crops will not grow better or something?
Oh,
So
you're
he
talking
knows
about-
his
you're talking about
benefit.
farming. You're talking about farming.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
that's a very simple farming. He will know something. Yeah? So he knows what benefits him. So he questions, as far as the worldly life and benefits are concerned, he is very alarmed
Mhm.
within his own world.
Mhm.
So it means he has the ability to question. But we need some sort of encouragement and reminder. That's why Quran says, I am the reminder.
Mhm.
We need some sort of reminder to urge us to discover what is within us. Do you understand this?
Absolutely.
To discover what is within us. From the beginning, we made a statement, if you remember, Quran, God doesn't speak and give guidance about what is already in existence. but we think that it
It has
does.
to be internalized.
Sorry?
It's personal, it's internalized. It's not what is in existence. It's for each person. It's for each.
No, the
Individual?
point is different. Excuse me. The point is, I will repeat. It means I couldn't make it clear. God doesn't give information, doesn't give guidance about something which already exists in the creation. It means he has already revealed it. You have to discover it. Quran doesn't tell you how to make the computer. It's already there. You have to discover it. So Quran doesn't give you information that you shouldn't kill. It's already in you. Yeah, it doesn't speak. But Quran says don't kill because, and it gives the reasoning in order to stabilize the society and the societal rights. To teach how am I going to apply it at the societal level. So Quran tells about the prohibition of stealing, again, for the social life. For the personal life, no. I know that stealing is bad. But I may misinterpret it. I may find out some ways of justifying it. But the Quran says, if you really consult your own existence, you will find the answer. There. You will already find the answer there. So Quran speaks for another purpose. For example, Quran doesn't tell you, for example, what you eat better for your health. So Quran says, very general languages that I created for you all the fruits, vegetables, and gardens full of I don't know, the fruit kinds of fluorescent fruits or vegetables for you, you know. What is that? Tell us and says, this is for a purpose. But we think that, it says, مَتَاعًا لَكُمْ وَلِأَنْعَامِكُمْ. It is for a purpose to feed you and your not animals, your an'am means your cattle that you breed, you take. It means it is for a purpose. It means when you look at the existence of for example, dates, which is mentioned, or the grapes, which are mentioned in the Quran frequently, you have to look at their existence in order to see the purpose in their existence. It's purposefully created, but what we do, excuse me, who needs guidance that the Creator has created dates that we should eat? Do you need a guidance from Ghaib, from your Creator? So you don't know, but I'll teach you, you should eat dates. You say, excuse me?
When I discover the quality of the dates, I just get astonished by how.
Yeah, that's the point. The point in mentioning about the dates in the Quran is not to teach you that you should eat dates. Definitely not. That's what we have to understand. We have to change our perspective. While we are reading the Quran, why are we reading the Quran? Anyone wanted something that I've seen some hands? No? You didn't raise the hand. No, you did. Okay, I'm sorry.
I had a question, but I don't know if you have a question you want to answer first.
Yeah, I think you did, right? For a better understanding. Yeah.
So we talked about how the ability to, or asking all these questions are internal in all humans, and it's the onus is on us to discover these questions. But how do we know that every human around us is capable of asking these questions or has like internal questions to them?
No, who is not perfect in its existence? Do you think a very simple peasant, the example we took, take his daughter, not all, we say always son, but not son, daughter, let's take daughter, take it to an education center, and do you think this daughter cannot become a doctor? Because she is created in a village. It means it is innate. What the Quran confirms, everybody is created perfectly. But what makes you ask this question, but I don't blame, you may be confusing between potentialities and abilities. Potentialities are ingrained in human nature. It means spirit. Spirit is what? Spirit is from God's spirit. God's spirit. It means God's spirit means the essence of God, the qualities of the essence of God is reflected, manifested in the spirit of human beings. What does it mean? Reflected, manifested, not a part of it, not a piece of it. Manifest. It is the act of the one whose qualities are all absolute and perfect. So we are made by this creator. Do you think this creator will not reflect his quality, some of his qualities to some people? Because if you work on an art, what do you think the artist will use while doing the art, or the making the art? Will use his all quality. Now that's what the Quran ensures us, that human spirit is from God's breath, God's spirit. Even the Quran speaks in the example of Jesus saying that he is min the spirit of, from the spirit of God, min ruhillah. What does it mean? Everybody is essentially, potentially created perfect. But I may develop it, my potentialities, or I may not. That is up to my choice. But we cannot, yeah, I've seen it. But we cannot generalize the life conditions, that the life conditions provide the motivations for everyone equally to find out, to discover these potentialities and put into practice. So if someone is a student at NYU, he or she is expected to question like she is questioning her class subjects, her major subjects. And we can ask her, why don't you use your potentiality to question your existence? But for a peasant, you cannot do the same. Although potentiality, they are the same, but the opportunities in order to develop their potentialities and turn them into abilities, they are not equally, how do you say, qualified or provided. Equal conditions are provided. It depends on the conditions of the person. He is expected to question as much as his conditions allow him. Right.
I have a question. We said that the Quran will only speak to those who have questions, right? Who are asking questions. And
maybe a little bit correction is but needs to be done on this assumption. This is the first premise, very important, the first premise. Quran speaks to everyone, but only those who have questions can benefit from it. Now that is a difference there.
okay, so my question which I have is, I guess we already said, like, one fundamental question is why am I here, or why am I created?
Why do I exist?
Exactly.
Make it general statement.
Yes. But I'm wondering, because I think everyone has this question here, and we are all sitting here, and when I read the Quran, which I haven't, but when I read the Quran, it is not that easy probably to understand the true meaning or the meaning for yourself. So when you say that those who are seeking for answers and the Quran is actually speaking to them, and when it's not that easy, I'm challenging, okay, the Quran is speaking to all those who are seeking for answers, but why is it then so difficult to get those answers?
Okay. How do you conclude that it is difficult?
I'm just assuming because you're all sitting here.
Now, if someone has not been educated in medicine, for example, if he goes to a class where there's a subject is taught related to medical studies, this person will not benefit from it. But if he is an inquisitive person, inquiring I really want to learn medical studies, he will learn it. Starting from the first class, the second class, third, fifth, and then they never end.
So because it has a purpose.
They go and go
it's
and
meaningful.
go.
The potential.
Sorry?
Because it's meaningful? Because it's meaningful to that person, or because he has a purpose to learn it?
If he asks the questions and reads the Quran, in order to get the answer from the Quran, it needs gradual development. You cannot get all the message at once, because this is the word of gradual, how do you say, tadrij in Arabic, gradual development.
Process.
You cannot, it goes through a process. You cannot get the answer at once, the perfect answer. You cannot become a doctor as soon as you said, I'm going to be a doctor. And you go and register with the medical school, it doesn't mean that you become a doctor. You became a doctor. That's obvious. What is expected to you, if you need to become a doctor, you are expected to register with the school first, and then continue attending the classes, doing your homeworks. Do you understand? After certain years, they probably 9 years or something, they start in order to become a specialist in the particular subject. After 9 years, before you retire, you become specialized in one subject. But that is our nature. So what is important? To get the whole meaning in the speech of God is not the point. So don't be discouraged. Be optimistic. I am a first-year student in studying the Quran, trying to benefit from its message, with the condition that I have to keep my questions always alive, because the questions are in me. So as much as you are aware of your potentialities, you have to keep asking the questions and start reading the verses, for example, as we did here. Now, it was an excellent example. The previous verse we studied last week, only one verse last week, it was also very exciting discussion for me. Now, this is also very exciting. Now, the verse says literally, the future is better for you than the past. What are you expected to do? Yeah, the Quran says the future is better for me. And especially traditionally what the people said, the Quran is speaking to the Prophet. Yeah, it's promising that the future life of the Prophet will be more successful than his life in Mecca. Okay, that's good for him, nothing to do with me. Do you understand the really terrible things are happening to the Quran? seeing that this is about the Prophet. It is about the Prophet. Why am I reading it there? Prophet died 1400 years ago. Nothing to do with me. Why do I keep reading it? Well, Duha, every prayer you see that people are reciting, well, that's beautiful. And it is about a person who died. What are you going to do with it? What is it? What is the relevance to your life? Because God is speaking to you and you get nothing out of it. Yeah? Well, about a person's situation. Prophet was guaranteed that his future is guaranteed. Okay. Okay. Good for him. I don't know. What shall I do with it? It is irrelevant. If you read most of the conventional commentaries on the Quran, you will get nothing. So what you have to do now, you have to say the future is better for you than the past. Who's you? Me. Future is better for me than the past. How can it be? You have to ask the question. For example, let's say I will kill people, by the excuse of making the interest of the country, and declare war other people and exploit them, colonize them, and read the Quran saying that the future is better for me than the future, than the past. Is it true? It doesn't seem to be. How can it be then? Question it. Question it. When you question, you definitely understand that there is a relevance to you, and you will see that, from this perspective, only the future is better for me than the past. We had one interpretation of it, but there may be others, of course. But for the moment, I'm satisfied with this interpretation. Future is the creation. Sorry, past is the creation. What I experience. And anytime you experience something, what happens? It passes. It is past. So it will be better for you if you benefit from its existence. How can you benefit from its existence? By deducing the meaning from its creation, from its existence. And the meaning always refers to what? If you look at any creation, the meaning in its existence, there is a purpose, there is a wisdom, there is knowledge, there is power, there is will manifested. Never refers to anything in the world. Refers to its maker. And you get to know the maker. That is good for you. That's better for you. Now, what you hear experiences past, what you gained from it is the future. Do you understand? You can understand this only very simple if you have the principle that the Quran must be read with the intention to get the answer to my questions if I have it. If I don't have it, nothing. Quran just becomes a sacred book, respected, and then you shouldn't touch the book itself. And that is what the Quran is for this person. Yeah, respect the paper. Understand? Okay. There are a lot to say. So now let's finish the fifth one. Inshallah, this is the first slide, and inshallah, we are going to finish it, and it won't be difficult for you now. You tell me what you understand from the last word. وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَىٰ. It means your Lord is sure to give you so much that you will be satisfied. Quran, in the Quranic language, sa and sefa, that's a grammar, very simple, basic grammar, very basic. Also, sa and sefa is mostly taken for the hereafter. Now, does it have to be? No. It must be practical. But for example, if I read this one, the last verse, your Lord is sure to give you so much that you will be satisfied in the hereafter. Yeah, that's what generally read the Quran, how the Quran is read. In the hereafter, how about here? Do I have to suffer? If you believe, if you understand and confirm the fact that your creator is the absolute one, you become aware of it, you are satisfied with this conclusion, do you think you are satisfied or not? With your existence, you will be satisfied. If you are not aware of it, you will be terrified with the news of your death. And death is, for this person, complete annihilation. It means disappearance from existence. Complete distortion, destruction for one's existence. So this person will never be satisfied, but only you will be satisfied what you are given for sure by your creator if you are aware of him. Of course, if you are not aware of him, this verse doesn't speak to you. So we understand that we don't have to wait for hereafter in order to confirm the reality of this verse, what the verse gives you. Yeah, what it says, because if I am going to say that your Lord is sure to give you so much that you will be satisfied, you will be well satisfied, okay, in the hereafter. Okay, well, how do I know? But I have to wait until I die and see the paradise, and then, yeah, this verse was right, really, I confirm it. Sorry, it is too late. After you die, it's too late to confirm the reality of this verse. So, referring this future tense in the Quran to the hereafter, although not exclusively, it doesn't mean that it is not related to the hereafter at all. Anything in the future, whatever is going to be created, but starting from now. As soon as you realize that your existence belongs to the Eternal One, and the, how do you say, absolutely merciful, powerful, and nothing misses from his knowledge, from his sight, from his hearing. Okay. He knows that he created me with a sense to desire eternal happiness. That's it. He can give it. Yeah? And this, you will be well satisfied, is realized right now. Okay. Tomorrow as well. The day after tomorrow. After you die as well. Must be, because the source is eternal. But you have to confirm the news of this word, this verse, now, because we are expected to believe in the speech of God and confirm this belief here while we are living in this world, not after we die. So referring the verses to the hereafter is not doing a justice to the Quranic speech at all. Although it doesn't exclude it, we have to be very careful. So we cannot say that the Muslims are going to, the believers are going to suffer here, but in the hereafter they will be given paradise. But the people will like and enjoy their life here, but they will have a terrible life in the hereafter. How do I know? If I am not happy with my existence, how can I be happy with my creator? Yeah. If I'm not happy with my existence, how can I be happy and pleased with the one who gave me my existence? Do you understand the very essential, if you like, principle in reading the Quran? I think we talked about a lot of things that we don't hear today, and in this class, our principle is this: if you are likely to hear and learn anything from other sources, we don't mention it, because you can learn it. Go and search the YouTube and learn it. We only learn what is missing in the general culture of the believers, in general, not only Muslims, the Christians, Jews, or whatever, Hindus. What is missing? The missing dimension of the message of the Quran in the minds and interest points of the community and the community leaders, we speak here. What is missing? We speak. I find it very essential. Do you? It's very essential. Inshallah, we will continue. Next slide. And we have another slide there. Inshallah, not difficult, but when we go into the details, what we found out, oh, I never paid attention to this. But that's what I feel. Oh, I didn't know that. Because before I learned this approach, I didn't know what these verses were about. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم and الحمد لله رب العالمين. Thank you for joining and waiting for your attendance on Saturdays here.